Monday, Pete.
We're back.
We're back. And the funny thing about today's show is that we just sat here talking for about 15 minutes without the camera on some of the most cogent analysis in the history of the world. But it's funny because we just come in here and
talk sports.
Yeah,
that's exactly what we are. So I guess let's get right to it.
Last week we had this big game to talk about between Don and North. So this week's big game is Memorial and Rowe. We're going to talk a lot about it this time.
A lot of good matchups in that game.
Oh, there's some great matchups and some. We're going to talk a little bit about leadership and character and all these neat things that football is supposed to build in young people. So let's start with that 31-5A stuff. We'll get back to Edward North and Don and all that. You look at that game that Memorial played against PSJ Memorial. They were down by a point. They scored 19 in a row. They had a bunch of touchdowns at the end to blow them out. First of all, PSJ Memorial has a little trouble, right?
They're having trouble. They had trouble moving the ball, and they at the end their defense had trouble stopping people.
And Memorial's defense held them to what, like 185?
It was it was not a lot of yards, and Memorial's offense, Spates had more rushing.
184, the kid.
But he had one for 49. But other than that, the running between him and
Alonzo, they got a bunch of backs. Man, see, Memorial's got a ton of backs.
And the running between them was pretty much split. They were about 100 apiece, 120 apiece until he broke that run.
Wow.
So,
Memorial is going to have a good chance against anybody because, as we were talking about earlier, it's a physical team in the interior lines. Martinez, Velasco, Tim Ruiz, all those guys on the offensive line, and their D line is huge, man.
You look, guys.
Yeah, you look at Grancelli, who's not that tall, but he's really wide, and he's just a tough guy. Adame, who's an enormous person. 99, Oye Dage, I have to learn his name, but he's a good player. Very, very physically imposing, about 6'2". Yeah. Memorial's got huge size. Now, okay, so you got the size of Memorial, a grinded-out running team against Rowe. Tell me about how that is going to work, because that's a great matchup.
Well, everybody knows about Rowe's offense and how high-powered it is. They like to score points, and they scored points this past weekend on West Lagoa, and that was just a tough game in itself.
You scored 34 points and lose, is that it?
That's what it is.
Yeah. Wow. Well, that's a good sign that you can score. Now we got to see whether Rowe can make those 2 or 3 plays down the stretch that will determine the fate of a ball game.
The matchups I'm looking forward to in that hopefully is Nick Mariotti against Adrian Salazar.
Yeah,
I mean,
Nick's a junior.
They're both big kids.
Yeah, they're athletes. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see whether they run some pick stuff or some crosses. I say picks. What I really mean is crosses. Just you get in my way and I'll get in your way, and all the receiver goes this way. Yeah. Rowe's gonna score. Obregon is having, I'd say, an MVP all-district year.
Sure,
yards.
It's tough to really see anybody else in that district. I mean, he's putting up all the numbers he needs to put up, but he's going to have a hard time trying to get away from Garrett Sharp.
Sharp is, I've said it before, I don't think we agree, he might be the best player in the Valley. I really feel like, he's got the edge on almost everybody, right? I mean, he's a ferocious football player. He plays football like they probably used to in the 40s and 50s, man. He just comes at you and he'll spit on you, and I don't mean in a bad way, but he'll just, have like Vince Ortiz. They're animals, man, and to me, that is the way to fire up a team, right? Is have a kid who's going to go out there and give it his all.
He does give it his all every time, and he's all over the field. He's in every single play on defense.
He is.
You know what I mean?
Number eight.
He's not totally. I mean, just hear some guys step back with the zone or whatever now, but he's just going to follow the ball.
Here's the great part about Garrett. He is very ferocious. He has 110 mile-per-hour motor to go along with good talent. Because you've got some guys who don't have a lot of talent, but they're willing to hustle and hit, and they're very effective players. This dude's got the complete package because he's big, man, and he's fast, and he is mean. I see him going to a nice college to play football. I really do.
That'd be a nice pickup for any team.
Indeed. Back to reality now. So Rowe and Memorial should be a high-scoring game. That always plays into Rowe's favor because most teams can't score like they can score. Can Memorial score on them?
Yeah, Trevor Spates will score. He'll get in. So will the other back. I mean,
the only thing that worries me is that they only passed for 15 yards last week.
That was tough.
Yeah.
And it was. You looked at it, and I was looking at my sheet, and I was just like, wait a minute.
And one handle.
Yeah.
And yet, sooner or later down the road, we said it last week about Ryan Guerrero of PSJ North, and he came through pretty good. Can you complete a couple of passes when you need them? So Rowe and Memorial promises to be, I think the best game of the year so far. We'll really have a lot to say in determining, who goes up, who is sidetracked. Now, what about McAllen Boulevard?
McAllen, they're going to face that PSJ team, and they're going to be PSG is not the hottest team right now.
Right.
Everybody knows that.
Right.
And so they just got to make sure they stay there and they go through the motions and pull out the win that they need to win. It's going to be a home game.
Yeah, it's a matter of getting back into the swing of things. So, you took that off week, which I'm not the world's biggest fan of, but okay. So they have to play like it don't matter who's across the field from them, across the line of scrimmage. Do your thing, get limbered up, sweat, hit, and play football the way you know how. And because sometimes you don't want to take a team lightly. I mean, it is the Bears, and they have a lot of pride. I mean, they're going to want to come over and win. Right?
Yeah.
So McAllen got to get back to business and then look ahead because they got some tough games coming up. I was looking at their schedule. Every game from here on out is a team that's over 500 right now and that's in the race.
Yeah, I mean,
so they got to win this game.
There isn't that many teams who are not over 500.
I know, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, and so what it means is you beat the Bears, and then you move on to that last 4 games. And if you can split there, you're probably going to make it. And I think 3 losses get you into my
Sure, and not only that, I mean, if they can do that soundly, I mean, it'll be a good motivation. We came off the bye week or whatever, and then we can still play.
Yeah, because with 17-year-old kids, sometimes they forget real quick some of the things that you did 2 weeks ago. Right? It's the same thing in Pan Am, man. When I used to go on spring break and you come back and you be zombies for a week, I'm like, come on, man. So, no, I think the off week is good for a team with injuries. Like Colomides, North could have used an off week this week, but doesn't get it. So the bottom line is Mackay gets back on the roller coaster and plays ball the way they know how and prepares for the last stretch of the season. I still feel that team has a good chance to win district, no matter what Weslaco is doing, although the Panthers are looking tough too.
Yeah. So now Edinburgh North, they just came off a tough loss. They have banged up players. It's kind of rough. Donna was able to beat them, but I mean now they got Palmview on the road.
We spent a lot of time talking about that game last week in preparations, and I feel that the game was worthy of all the hype. Now the thing is, I think Donna was more sound in all phases of the game, and you cannot begin to talk about the fortunes of North beyond that game without talking about some of the injured players they have. Now, I don't want to. I'm not one of these guys who wants to be an ambulance chaser, but I mean, when you lose Lupe Quintero and Adrian Alanis, that's a difficult thing. And North was able to compete and get back in the game and had a chance, even though they had 2 or 3 other guys missing for various reasons. That was a crazy night, man. Remember? That was a crazy night.
It really was. And there was that little drama, and then right after that drama, that's when Donna broke off with that 50-yarder, and that was pretty much the stat.
The double penalty that the North side did not agree with, that gave Donna an advantage for whatever reason, good or bad. Then there was the fisticuffs or near fighting and people getting ejected. The fans were going nuts. The Donna fans were loud and menacing. And the Edinburgh North, like I told you, there were 3 different groups behind me had their own chants going in the North section. The students were going bananas, the season tickets and the parents, and then that general admission crowd was getting fired up. You don't see that all the time.
You really don't.
They usually sit there and just chill.
And that's a good thing because North hasn't had that in a while.
Right.
You know what I mean? Their fans there's fans.
Couple of down years. Yeah, exactly.
But you saw some people in the stands.
Walk-ins.
Exactly.
Walk-ins came to see North from places around the valley. That's right. Yeah, exactly. Well, the thing is, there was no empty seats. All the people made noise. North was a little bit too careless in terms of some penalties and execution problems, and their special teams will, I think, probably be moving ahead. There will be an area of improvement that they'll focus on.
They need to get that snap going. I mean, that was a couple of problems. It was too low a few times,
Well, they missed 2 extra points, got a field goal blocked, and they did not punt well. Now, they did cover well. This Robbie DeLeon, number 7, he will make a special teams tackle. I've said it before. He's just a monster on the special teams. It's not the coverage. It's the execution of the little things, and you just got to work on it every day in practice. They will. They don't want to go out there and miss a field goal, so no, I think that's where they need to improve. Now, against Palmview on a Thursday, like you said, Thursday to Thursday, like Friday to Friday.
Yeah, it's a week. It should be
permanent
fine.
jet lag,
Yeah.
or something. I expect them to go out there and play well against Palmview. They're definitely going to be missing some of those key guys, and yet they've got enough talent to fill in. They've got plenty of depth in certain places, not overall in the roster. They don't have a ton of guys. But let me tell you something about North. Almost every kid on that team gets in and does something, right? Some teams there's like 15 guys doing everything, right?
Yeah.
But no, they're getting the most out of what they have. They should be able to go out there and beat Palmview. Although, let me tell you what, Palmview's got some athletic players, man. Sammy Basilio is a pretty good quarterback. Yeah, not bad. Yeah, and of course, Mar Gonzalez. You watch that little guy; he can run like crazy. So it's not a done deal.
Exactly. It's going to be a test, especially on the road. So I mean, that La Jolla Stadium, they got some crazy people over there.
It'll be fun, man. You might even hear some vuvuzelas over there. Here's the deal. They should be able to go out and play a good defensive game, and win the ball game.
Yeah.
They're going to have to defend against the breakaway because Palmview has broken some scores against all the teams they've played. In other words, they're not going to drive it on you 20 plays, but they're going to pop a few because that Mar Gonzalez is a track guy. He can run and jump like a – he's tough, man. So I expect them to do well there. Now, EHS Vela was another one of those big games that we talked about a lot last week. It was pretty cool.
It was. I mean, it had to have been emotional for both sides, you know.
Yeah, it was.
There was a little. Sure, it was a blowout. I mean, but those kids are learning. They're going to get back at it.
Yeah, they're going to get back at it. You know, I felt like watching Vela. I knew that they were undermanned through various and sundry reasons, and yet I felt like they gave a great effort. Oh, okay, so now I think it's probably at the point in time when we can mention Economides, who has an off week this week. I mean, they're pretty solid so far. I think
they are solid, and they need that off week to get healthy. I mean, they had a good win this week. They were on the road, and we were saying that wasn't going to be an easy game for them.
No, and La Jolla gave them a fight, and I think the Jags finally were able to outrush them. They had 300 yards rushing. 22-13, they take out La Jolla. It's a good road win. Anytime you win on the road in district, you have to consider that a plus, man, because there's so many things that can go wrong in the other team's neighborhood. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now the Jags have the off week, like you say, to heal. I feel like they're in good position. Now they're back to 500 at 2-2, tied with Lincoln. They're going to have to come up with. I think they're going to have to beat Bobcats down the road because I'm not sure they can handle Donna, and they got them November 2nd. But I'll tell you what, if I was Donna, I would look out for them because they're a team kind of like Donna. They're physical and they're fast. They got some talent. And tough.
And Economides there, that's going to be a really good game. I think so. I mean, they put up a fight against Sherryland.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not going to back down against Donna.
Nope.
I mean, who's Donna to them?
And they play them at home.
Yeah.
Jags are like those teams we were talking about earlier in the broadcast here. Learning how to win. Learning how to expect to win. Doing the things you need to do on a daily basis that establish the pattern of a team that is a winner. Because sometimes if you have those habits and patterns, even if you have an average team, then that will reach you to excellence one more step up because you do all the things right. Yeah. I firmly feel the Jags will be a playoff team. I believe North will be there. They're going to take on Palmview this week, Thursday, like you say. And the other two, it's going to be a struggle. But now we're talking about what the character of these teams and how much they're willing to improve in the next 4 weeks. And I think that can be considerable amounts for each.
Sure, yeah. And the Edinburgh teams. So you had Edinburgh and Edinburgh Vela. They played off this week. And granted, you know, Vela's, they're still struggling to find the W. But, I mean, how are they going to get around to it, you know?
You know, the one thing that I'm always proud of when I watch those guys play is the overall effort they give. They did not have the best night against Bobcats. They started well. They got down close. They got a field goal block. The second half was very difficult. A lot of really fundamental mistakes that you'll find with a first-year team. But Michael Arguelles, the big safety, the freshman, hit hard. He came all the time. He had 13 tackles. You know, Justin Revilla is a guy who makes a lot of plays for them. You know, the thing is, they're still playing spirited football. Their execution on offense has been off and on because they just can't seem to get a rhythm. But they got a lot of freshmen and sophomores that are playing ball, learning what it's like to be under the Friday night lights, and I'm telling you, man, it's coming for them. They're going to be a much improved team next year with a lot of guys that took their hard knocks. Look, when some of those freshmen or seniors, they're going to be able to say, remember that time we got beat 56-0 or 49-0 by Bobcats, and now we're in the playoffs.
Exactly.
It's going to happen that way. I can almost guarantee.
Exactly. But they've got Donna and Edinburgh's got Sherryland.
Hey, man.
Edinburgh's got Sherryland. I mean, it just doesn't get any easier for both of them. I mean,
Coach and them need to just have fun with this week because they know that they ain't going to beat Donna, or that. Put it this way, it's unlikely. But let's go out there and really let it all hang out and make them realize that we're not going to lie down for you, man.
Exactly.
You know, we're a varsity team. We're going to be good, and we're going to give you everything we got. And they have so far, particularly on defense. I've been proud of the Vela kids on defense. They're just kind of small.
Yeah. And
why are they small? Because they're all underclassmen. They haven't had those years in the weight room and the summer program. They're going to blow up, and they're going to be ugly to somebody very soon. Now, Bobcats, they have, obviously a tough game against Sherryland. Problem is that that's not the world's fastest team, and Sherryland is very fast.
Yeah.
So that's not a good matchup just from a physical standpoint. But the Bobcats come off a win, man. They feel good about what they did, and so maybe they can keep that spirit going.
And being at Cat Stadium, that should help
a
lot. Yeah,
it helps.
So if they're able to maintain Sherryland for a half, I think it could be a game.
Yeah.
But I mean, they need to do that at the half, and Barrera, he's just going to come out and. He's going to light somebody up.
Yeah, he can. He's a pinpoint passer who runs when he has to. They got multiple kids. Martinez and Serta had touchdowns in the first quarter the other day. They score more points in more quick duration than any team around, man. So EHS has to keep the ball. What they do against Baylor, 16 plays, 79 yards or some such, and all runs, by the way. I was watching the 50s. It was good. Just hit them. Line up, pitch the ball, and hit. And Baylor was hitting them. And they were giving ground like this. If EHS can do that to Sharyland, and they keep the ball out of their hands. Because once you give it to the Rattlers, whoop, 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 they just start doing their thing. I mean, it's just very hard to stop. But they can't do nothing if they ain't got the ball.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So that takes care of the Edinburgh schools and
PSJs. You want to run through them real quick?
Yeah. I mean,
PSJ North was down last week. PSJ Memorial was down. PSJA was down. And basically, it was a tough team. PSJ Southwest lost. It's the only time you're going to see that Tri-Cities area go 0-4. So if you don't think they're mad about that, then you're nuts, because they are.
Now, PSJ Southwest, we were talking about it, it's going to be a good game. They got Valley View. I mean, they're most of those schools are in the same region.
That is.
Vecinos.
They'll go, man. I'll tell you what, they're going to want to hit each other, right?
Yeah, it should be good. I mean, it's not sure it's a road game, but I mean, it's not that far of a road game. It's just right there in the neighborhood,
What they have to do is get back to being more precise, running the ball like they were, and don't get too caught up in the hype of that, because there's going to be a lot of people in the stand. There's going to be a lot of papas on the fences. You know what I mean? Like games like that when you got the cowboy hat and he's hollering at his mijo. So you got to be cool with that and still play ball. Because sometimes I remember when I was a kid, my dad didn't go to a lot of my games, but when he did show up, I was always like, oh wow, my dad's here. What am I going to do? So, it's okay.
The extra coaches in the stands.
Nice. Exactly. Well, it's time for those kids to look. When you get to the second half of the first season with Vela, PSJ Southwest, now it's time to act like you've been there, and to get better and improve and be very businesslike about it. Emotional appeals. Coach Michael Salinas and them made that at the beginning, got a lot of buzz off of that. Now they're just teaching these kids on a daily basis, looking at films, saying we did this right, we didn't do this right. It's still very positive for them. Nobody likes to get beat that bad, but at the same time, man, they're going to be there.
Yeah, I mean, and it's just a learning process. This is the first time they do everything.
It hurts, man. It hurts now, but you know what? One of these days it's going to feel mighty good. That's the nature of the beast.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's see, PSA Southwest. The Bears are...
Okay, the Bears, they've got McAllen.
We're dissecting that. PSJ Memorial has an off week, right? And I think they need it, because that team is having trouble. They got them two great kids, but they're not filling in the cracks with any drive.
Exactly.
Scoring big points.
Exactly. And it's something two people can't do all the work.
Right.
And, now PSJ North, they've got a...
Up, down. Where will they end?
Who are you going to... but they got Weslaco East this week. So
East, to me, is the strongest team in the district. I don't know what people say Weslaco, and they're close. But right now, and I'm going to see them this Friday, and I'll tell you whether I think so after this week. But Weslaco East, that's a good program, man. That's a hard game. I wouldn't want to play them at all, because they got speed, they got experience, they got a big line, and they don't care if it's 4A, 5A. Those guys are tough, man. We'll see what they do against Greyhounds.
And that really is impressive, coming from the 4A to just straight up being competitive in 5A.
They got athletes, man, golly, and they believe in themselves. That program believes, At any rate, quickly, Mission. We don't want to get out of here without talking about undefeated Mission, man. They pounded Edcouch.
Yeah, I mean, at Edcouch, too. That's what...
Took turnovers.
Yeah.
4 in the first quarter. Anytime you can get 4 turnovers in the first quarter, you're going to win the football game. Unless like a spaceship lands on the field at halftime. You know what I mean? So, they've got their own test. They've got to go to Roma. I mean, that's a long drive. Roma's not bad. Roma. Here's the deal. Is this one of those old-fashioned things we've seen the last couple of years where Roma comes 3-1, 4-1, then loses 4 out of 5?
Yeah.
Because the thing is, they don't play the hardest schedule, but at the same time, they got some playmakers. I think it's a good test for Mission. They gave Edcouch, 165 on defense. They're solid. Rios is a good quarterback. Randy De La Garcia had 3 touchdowns. This Robert Veliz had a couple of scores. In other words, if Mission does score that much, with the defense they have, they can win that district.
Yeah, they
easily.
Can. And that district, I mean, that's a tough district.
Yeah, it is, and it's a fun district.
Yeah, it is. So
pardon me while I asphyxiate here.
Rio Grande, they're headed to Mercedes. That's
tough, man. No. Hey, Rio's getting better, but Mercedes is strong.
Yeah.
If there's a team that can beat Mission for the district title right now, I believe it's Mercedes. Their quarterback had an amazing game, man. He's real. Isaiah.
Yeah,
Isaiah's tough. Isaiah got us up, man. He was a player of the week. I mean, you guys
amazing. And that's not going to be an easy feat there in Mercedes. I mean,
just don't take them lightly, and Mercedes will win. Now, Mission Veterans is looking good too, man. Golly, they're going to play Edcouch.
Now they're going to Edcouch, and they can really win that game. I mean, Edcouch is all all that drama that's going on with them. I mean, that's gotta hurt their program on the field a lot more than it does off the field.
It's a combination platter. It's a bad thing for them. Here's the deal. Once during the year, before they go completely down in the tubes, Ed Couch will have a strong effort against somebody, all right? Because they've got talent, they've got pride. They're just in disarray right now. And it hurts me to see that, honestly. I don't care who's right or wrong. Forget about that. Because to see a program that's on its hind legs is no good. Now, you just have to hope that if you're Michigan veterans, this ain't the week that they put that last haymaker on while they go down to the sidelines, because I don't think they're going to make it this year. If it is, veterans going to have a hard time. What they got to do is come out and get a touchdown or two early and get Ed Couch, a little dejected and just pour it on because they can score, man. Veterans are one of the best offenses in the valley.
Yeah, and so I hope it. I don't know. I mean, I'd like to see Ed Couch, with what is going on. I'd like to see him.
When they may need, they turn it around
exactly.
up here.
Yeah. Like, all right, so it's got to be like a Ohio State thing. They're competing for what? And it's tough.
They don't even know what they're doing. Let's not even go there because I don't like.
That's a great.
If people made mistakes, they should be punished. But if the teams have to suffer, it's kind of a downer. Anyway, so it's a good week coming up. Bottom line is, I think the big game is Roe Memorial. Yeah. And the rebrief on that, just for as we close here, great offense and a great defense. Obregon and Sharp. And let me tell you, man, that's going to be a big house. It's hard to fill Memorial Stadium, but you know what? Both those fan bases are going to be excited.
They
like
are.
you said.
That's probably what it's going to come down to. Whatever fan base is louder, gets more.
Whoever gets the spirit.
Because the fans that lose their win. I mean,
right? Yeah, exactly. And they can tell, right? Yeah, exactly.
The players they're seeing their fans. They're just like, well, they're
getting nachos and went home already in the third quarter.
Exactly. So I mean,
it could be a difference maker.
Exactly.
Now, the thing is, will Memorial be balanced? Roe was balanced last week. Will Roe allow 518 yards again? Because that's too much. I know it was an overtime game, and you can give up 350 and win, but 518 is too much. That just means you let the other team score enough.
Yeah, and
42 points.
Crushing needs to air that ball out. I mean, they really do. I mean,
I think they will. I think they will.
They got that running game. Like I said, it was balanced, but Spates had that one that was for 49 yards, which gave them more yards.
Put it away.
Yeah.
Put it away. Early fourth. Yeah. Here's the thing, or third.
Yeah.
The thing is, if he gets 184 again, then they can keep the ball because Memorial wants to drive the ball.
Sure. Yeah.
Roe will score any way it can. It's like a high flying Walindas on the circus, man. Pow, pow, pow. Memorial just gonna dun 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 dun, and then break one. That's gonna be a great contrast in styles and a fun night. And I think I'm probably gonna be at the San Benito game. If I wasn't, I would definitely be at Memorial Stadium. So anyway, here it is. This is the week. This was the week and is the week.
That's the week again.
It got cold on us.
Yeah.
And I don't particularly care for that because I'm a shorts guy. I was the world's youngest winter Texan. I moved down here because it was hot all the time. So I'm a little bit down in the dumps. Pete's trying to cheer me up. I'm Greg Selber. On behalf of Town Crier, Edinburgh Review, all the people that run our business and tell us what to do in a very positive way, we're happy to be here. We love the product that we put out. Please spread the word about the things that we have because Pete's taking pictures and videos. We got good stories. We got all the neat things. We're a little entity within an entity here.
Exactly,
we're having a good time on top of this.
Yeah, we're not the biggest, but we're really striving to be the best. So.
And, we have a good time, and I think you will, too, if you ride with us each week. Greg Selber, Pete Pettis, Talking Sports. We're out.